Hey folks, welcome to the channel where we're talking everything retirement. Today, we're talking about the big question, expectations. If you haven't retired yet, what are your expectations for retirement? And if you have retired, what were your expectations and how did that play out? Because to be honest, we know that a lot of times our expectations are never met in retirement. They kind of change. And so there's like five areas that I'm going to talk about, and these five areas are. So, what's the first thing that you think about when you picture retirement? Relaxation, right? That was the first thing that I thought about when I started contemplating retirement. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, sleeping in, slow mornings, being able to come out to the backyard while everybody is rushing to work, already at work, just sitting back here, watching the squirrels run around and play, the birds fly, bees are everywhere, and then just drinking a hot cup of coffee. Ah, that is good. That's relaxation to me. Although, some people say there's a twist to relaxation. You get too much relaxation, might lead to boredom, and boredom's never good. Although I've been retired for 4 years and I haven't been bored yet. Relaxation, it's met my expectations and then some. So, retirement, what's that second picture that enters your mind? Well, for me, it was trying to reduce the stress level because we know that, our work life, it's very stressful. It's the morning commutes, getting up early, it's the constant deadlines, it's the angry boss. And I've had several angry bosses in my work life. It's the employee that wouldn't get along well with others. It's the constant deadlines, it's the priority changes. You name it, there's tons of stress. A lot of times I think I create more stress for myself. But in retirement, all that goes away. And once it goes away, you hope it doesn't come back. But in retirement, it has a way of sneaking in the back door. Now you start to worry about maybe it's health concerns, right? The We know that at 67, our bodies start to break down even faster, and we're more prone to illnesses, major illnesses, and so health becomes an issue for us. Others might be money concerns, and we're going to talk about money. Am I going to run out of money? And then there's family responsibility. If you retired, a lot of people think that it's your responsibility now to take care of mom and dad if they're still around. Or maybe it's another sibling that has health issues. It's your turn to step up and take care of that person. And the other side of that coin, yeah, they're probably right. It is your responsibility to take care of stuff. And sometimes that causes stress. But how do you reduce that stress in retirement? Well, we know that it's not automatic. It wasn't automatic in our work life, and it's not going to be automatic in retirement. In retirement, you just got to figure out a way. For me, it's about creating intentional habits, such as something physical. Right? For me, it's going for a long walk. It's like being out here at the park. You know, just looking at the pond, water splashing up and down. It kind of eases my mind. It might be that you need to go to your happy place. And in retirement, my happy place is fishing on my boat. And when I get a lot of stress, that's where I go. So, number two, reducing stress. My expectation that it was going to come down, and it did come down. And in my retirement, I don't have that much stress anymore. Only that which I create for myself. So I'm parked outside of Home Depot. Why? Because the next thing we're going to talk about is working part time in retirement. And I know a little bit about the Home Depot. I used to work for them as a HR manager. And I can tell you that Home Depot is a great place for seniors to work part time. They work within your availability, and especially if you have product knowledge of the things that they sell in the store, yeah, they're always looking for you. But it's not surprising that a lot of retirees, they choose to keep working in retirement. And usually it's not because they have to. Well, sometimes they have to, but usually not. But they do it because they think that part time keeps their brain sharp and it keeps their social life active. And yes, it does help pad the travel fund. So for me, within that first year when I retired, I felt the same way. I thought that, you know, I needed to constantly bring in money into the home. And so when I retired, I continued to do contract work. I continued to do some gig work, some side hustles, keep working to bring money in. And then after a while, I'd say probably about 6, 7 months, I decided that, man, if I was going to continue to work this hard, I might as well stayed working instead of retiring. And so within that 1 year, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to drop it all and I'm going to go into the full retirement mode, which is what I did. Yeah, I don't know if I have enough money to retire. So this is a huge question that a lot of retirees ask, and there's so many retirees that enter retirement worrying about running out of money that they'll not even retire. They'll wait. They'll wait for some magical number to appear in their bank account. And honestly, that fear, it's valid. But here's the truth, right? The truth is that most retirees, they adjust their lifestyle and spending more than they expected. The key is planning, budgeting, and being flexible. Retirement isn't about having all the money that you think you need. It's about making the money that you do have work for you. So when I retired, yeah, I felt the same way. I didn't know if I had enough money, but I knew that if I didn't have enough money, there were a lot of things that I could do to make up for that. And so that's what I did within that first year. And within that first year, I quickly found that, there were a lot of things that I spent money on in my work life that now I didn't have to. And so there are big cost savings from just being retired. And so now we have a budget, we work within that budget, and life is good. And if I ever need to, there are ways for me to tap into other means of funds to make sure that we continue to live this retirement lifestyle. So number four, my expectation that I have enough money. I didn't think so at the beginning, but now, yeah, I feel very comfortable and confident. And number five, travel more. So a lot of people have the expectation of traveling. Yeah, whether it's, you want to go see a beach, you want to travel into the mountains, or constant road trips. Ah, yeah, the dream of travel. Maybe it's even international travel. Maybe you want to travel to Paris. Yeah, not Paris. I've been to Paris. You don't want to go to Paris. It's nothing special. Take your grandkids on a road trip instead. They'll love that. But travel is at the top of everybody's expectation. But the reality is that travel, yeah, it takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of planning, and yeah, it takes money to go somewhere. The good news, you usually don't have to go too far from your home if you're looking for adventure. So for me, once I retired, I had those same desires to travel a lot more. In the first year, we just traveled to see our kids, grandkid, and see my brother. But after that first year, we kind of scaled back simply because, the energy and the effort it takes to travel. A lot of times you travel and it really wasn't a vacation, right? It was more frustration than anything else. And so we're comfortable living in our home, right? And doing the home thing. And so traveling, although it met our expectation at first, we quickly adjusted and now we're comfortable, going to see our kids on those special days or trying to coach them into coming home and being at home for a little bit. But those are the five expectations and how they played out for me. How did they play out for you? Let me know.
So, what did you expect in retirement? Maybe you thought it would be an endless relaxation, endless vacation, or maybe you thought you wouldn't have to worry about money. The truth is, it's a mixture of all of these things: rest, stress management, part time work if you need it, financial adjustments all along the way, and hopefully a little adventure. The key is to design it intentionally because this chapter is yours to write. So if you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it with somebody else that is on this same type of journey. Hype it if you have the ability to do that. And I'll see you on my next video.